Hey guys, welcome back to New Horizon Times. I'm Arya and this is Shruti.
Today we're going to be talking about world news, national news, news from New Horizon, sports, space, and commerce and economics.
New Horizon Public School always prioritizes its students and their safety. We believe we need to protect our children and ensure that their well-being is of paramount importance. NHPS had a successful vaccination drive for our students aged 15 years and above against COVID-19 on January 4, 2022 on the NHPUC campus.
A mock fire drill was conducted in the premises of New Horizon Public School, which highlighted the precautions and protocols to be followed in the event of a fire breakout.
We are proud to announce that Samriddhi Kori 10B won the third runner-up position in a national level Smartathon. Our appreciation goes out to her as she made it to the 12 shortlisted contestants out of 165 students competing with engineering students. Samriddhi was awarded a Certificate of Achievement for her excellent performance and demonstration of remarkable innovation skills. Samriddhi was declared the third runner-up amongst 175 plus teams by Smartathon, held from December 26 to 31, 2021. Smartathon is a nationwide initiative to provide students with a platform to solve some of the pressing problems we face in our daily lives, thus inculcating a culture of innovation and a mindset of problem solving in the younger generation. Congratulations, Samriddhi. We appreciate the innovative work and wish you continued success in the future.
Infosys conducted an Infosys Catch Them Young 2021 in two phases. The briefing of different fields of work was done in Phase 1 and the tests were conducted in Phase 2. Nikhil Bhandari was one of the 30 participants shortlisted across India for this program. Phase 2 of the CTY program was scheduled for 2 weeks between the 8th November 2021 and 23rd November 2021, and he successfully completed the program. He learned quite a lot of new topics concerning information technology and the recent advancements. There were daily assignments to assess with their learning after each topic. The participants were given a mini project to complete with the skills they acquired during the program, which he duly accomplished. He was extremely proud to represent our prestigious school in the CTY program. He is grateful to New Horizon Public School as the knowledge he acquired in this institution helped him complete Phase 1 and Phase 2 successfully.
Greetings everyone. Hello and welcome to this month's coverage of world news for the month of January. Let us start by talking about this catastrophic event which NASA has labelled as 100 times worse than an atomic bomb. Yes, I am referring to the devastating volcanic eruptions in Hunga Tonga on the 14th and 15th of January, which have caused widespread destruction to life and property. The explosions also caused multiple tsunamis which struck Tonga, Fiji, Australia, New Zealand, American Samoa, and multiple other islands. Moving on, we have further developments on the Russia-Ukraine conflicts. Envoys from both Moscow and Kyiv have committed to a fragile ceasefire in eastern Ukraine during their talks in Paris and have agreed to continue their discussion amid the mounting fear that Russia is planning to invade its neighbor after a buildup of troops close to the Ukrainian border in eastern Ukraine. Continuing on the same topic, in its first statement on the ongoing crisis between Russia and the West led by the US over Ukraine, India on Friday said that it calls for a peaceful resolution of the situation through sustained diplomatic efforts for long-term peace and stability in the region and beyond.
Quiet and constructive diplomacy is the need of the hour. Any steps that increase tension may best be avoided by all sides in the larger interest of securing international peace and security. We have been closely following the evolving developments relating to Ukraine, including through ongoing high-level security talks between the Russian Federation and the United States, as well as under the Normandy format in Paris. India's interest is in finding a solution that can provide for immediate de-escalation of tensions, taking into account the legitimate security interests of all countries and aimed towards securing long-term peace and stability in the region and beyond.
Let us now move on to our next headline. 2 days after China held a virtual summit with the Central Asian countries, India too stepped in and Prime Minister Narendra Modi wished for an integrated approach for regional connectivity and cooperation for the next 30 years. He also flagged Afghanistan as a common concern and said that their mutual cooperation has become even more important for regional security and stability. Elsewhere, in Australia, Australia's Defence Minister cut the ribbon at the country's new hypersonic centre on 22nd January, marking another step forward for the country's hypersonic capabilities. Australia and the US are developing and testing hypersonic cruise missile prototypes under what is known as the Southern Cross Integrated Flight Research Experiment. In a shocking development, Indonesia has decided to change its capital from Jakarta to Nusantara, a site deep within the jungles of Kalimantan on the Borneo island. The shift in the capital is being made due to the massive environmental challenges facing Jakarta, a city that suffers from frequent flooding and is one of the fastest sinking cities in the world. The northern part of the city has been sinking at an estimated 25 centimeter a year. Redistribution of wealth is also an important objective of the shift. Since a bill on the shift of the capital was approved by the parliament on the 18th of January, construction of the new one could start any time this year. Moving on, Germany will need increased immigration to prevent severe labor shortages from undermining productivity and endangering a successful energy transition, its economy minister said, as Europe's largest economy faces a looming demographic crisis. The employer-friendly German Economic Institute estimates that the labor force will shrink by more than 300,000 people this year, as there are more older people retiring than younger ones entering the labor market. In the US, Justice Stephen Breyer's planned retirement will give President Joe Biden his first opportunity to appoint a Supreme Court judge. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson emerged as an heir apparent as soon as Biden, who pledged during his presidential campaign to nominate a black woman to the High Court. Judge Jackson, 51, already successfully went through the Senate confirmation process last year when Mr. Biden elevated her from federal district judge in the District of Columbia to the powerful US Court of Appeals for the DC Circuit.
Choosing someone to sit in the Supreme Court, I believe, is one of the most serious constitutional responsibility a president has. Our process is going to be rigorous. I will select a nominee worthy of Justice Breyer's legacy of excellence and decency. While I've been studying candidates' backgrounds and writings, I've made no decision except one. The person I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. And that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court.
Let us now move on to the last headline for the month. The IMF warned on Friday that a funding crisis battering China's biggest property developers could start to shake the wider economy and global markets, saying that deeper reforms were needed to fully curb the threat. The IMF reports comes as property firms in the world's second biggest economy struggle with liquidity problems as Beijing looks to curb excessive debt and rampant consumer speculation in that sector. That was all the world news for this month. This is Atulit Subramanian reporting from the NHT studio.
Greetings everyone and welcome to the national news segment of the New Horizon Times for the month of January 2022. You know what? Let's do something different this year. Let's begin national news on a positive note for a change. Regarding education, the budget has been increased by 11.86%. A digital university will also be established to provide access to world-class education to students across the country. This includes personalized learning in different languages and formats. And another development is that the number of channels under the One Class, One TV channel program of eVidya has been increased from 12 to 200. This has been done to enable all the states to provide supplementary education in regional languages as well for classes 1 to 12 in hopes of filling that COVID learning gap. Now let's delve a little bit into politics. The Legislative Assembly elections of Uttar Pradesh, the most populous state in the country, along with Punjab, Uttarakhand, Goa, and Manipur, are going to take place soon. Virtual rallies and speeches have already created quite a bit of stir in the air. And in view of the COVID situation in the country, the Election Commission has placed a ban on road shows, cycle, and bike rallies till February 11th, but has permitted physical rallies with a cap on the maximum number of attendees. Now back to the good stuff. Among the 140 crore people in this country, over 75% of our adult population is now fully vaccinated, and somewhere around 90% have received one dose at least. What's more, our COVID cases are falling as well. The huge third wave seems to have peaked, and the curve looks like it might just be flattening. That and the fact that a majority of students are going to be fully vaccinated soon makes me very hopeful for the next academic year. I am Ankita Vakde reporting for New Horizon Times, and I would like to leave you with this touching video of S. Mahindran, a traffic cop in Chennai who has been helping Deepika, a 7th standard student who lives on the footpath, with her studies for the past 1 year. Thank you for watching.
For the last 1 year, he has been helping Deepika, a 7th standard student, in her studies. Deepika lives on the footpath with her family.
ஒரு நம்பர் பாரு. ரெண்டு நாள் 8 அதிகமாக போகுது. அப்போ ஒன்று தான் எடுக்கணும். 4 மட்டும் எடுக்கணும். தப்பா போடணும். 1.
Mahindran is posted at C1 Flower Bazaar police booth in Chennai. He has been helping Deepika with clearing doubts in mathematics.
அதாவது பெருக்கல் வந்தா கூட்டல் வரும், வகுத்தல் வந்தா கழித்தல் வரும். புரியுதா? a அடுக்கு n equal to a அடுக்கு m plus n. வெரி குட். இது சொல்லு. இதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணுதான். a அடுக்கு m வகுத்தல் a அடுக்கு n. இப்படி சொன்னாலும் ரைட் தான். இது வகுத்தல் தான். இப்படி போட்டாலும் வகுத்தல் தான், ஒரு கோடு போட்டாலும் வகுத்தல் தான். மைனஸ் இருக்கு. m கழித்தல் n. வெரி குட். அது மைனஸ் சொல்லுவாங்க, ரைட் கழித்தல் தான். புரியுதா?
How long you know her?
1 year. 1 year தெரியும்.
1 year.
Nearby 1 year. 10 months. Every day is 10 days one time. Your duty.
Weekly once, 10 days once.
10 days once. Weekly or once or 10 days once. Or 10 or 15 days கால் வயசு இருக்காம ஏன் வரல அப்படின்ற மாதிரி கேட்பாங்க. அப்போ வந்து நல்லா படிப்பாங்க. நல்லா இருந்தது எண்ணம்.
Now let us get into the news from the other institutions of New Horizon. New Horizon College Marathali NSS unit organized an e-speech program on the effects of bad habits on the life of youth on National Youth Day. National Youth Day is also known as Vivekananda Jayanti. It is celebrated on 12th January on the birthday of Swami Vivekananda. In 1984, the Government of India declared this day as National Youth Day, and since 1985, the event has been celebrated in India every year in this regard.
Management Bingo. Management Club of New Horizon College, with the support of IQAC, organized the fun yet enriching game of bingo for the students of BBA. All the students learned many new terms and a new perspective of management. It was fun playing their childhood favorite game bingo with a twist by converting numbers by words that came under management. The competition was coordinated by Ms. Richa Pathak and Ms. Shivani Singh. The events focused on providing several development ideas and suggestions for their future.
Online workshop on mental health awareness. An online workshop was conducted for all the first year students on 24th of January 2022 on the online platform of Microsoft Teams. The resource person for the online workshop was Dr. Preeti V. Reddy, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychiatry, NIMANS, Bangalore. She is a holder of many awards including WFSBP Young Investigator Award by 14th World Congress of Biological Psychiatry, Vancouver, June 2019. Dr. Preeti V. Reddy from NIMANS interacted with the students and discussed various topics of mental health and personal mental awareness.
National Voters Day. Internal Quality Assurance Cell of New Horizon College, Mathali, organized an array of programs in connection with the National Voters Day. The students of BBA, BCA and BCom participated in the various events with zeal. The students who participated from each of the classes showed great interest and efforts into the recognition of identifying the rights of every voter. It was a promising sight to watch as these young minds will bring forth the change needed in the society that we all dream of. The students took an oath on the online platform Google Meet, and various programs such as webinars and drawing competitions were held on Zoom.
Rapid Raiders Challenge by Management Club. Management Club of New Horizon College, with the support of IQAC, organized a challenging yet fun quiz entitled Rapid Raiders Challenge for the students of BBA. The program focused on the students' knowledge and awareness of existing companies and their CEOs, among others. The students who participated showed great interest and effort. It was an exciting opportunity to learn by participating in a fun activity.
Webinar on legal clauses pertaining to sexual harassment. Anti-Sexual Harassment Cell of New Horizon College, with the support of IQAC, organized a webinar on the topic Legal Clauses Pertaining to Sexual Harassment on the online platform Zoom. The webinar catered to the needs for awareness among women for their rights and legal clauses regarding sexual harassment on all works of their lives.
Webinar on Financial Planning. Commerce Club in association with IQAC of New Horizon College organized a webinar on financial planning under the aegis of Unit Trust of India (UTI) on 28th of January 2022. The objective of this session was to educate the students about the various investment mantras and investment retrieval policies by SEBI. The keynote speaker was Mr. Suhas Rajput, who graduated from the Dale Carnegie Training, Mumbai, and is a certified trainer and a facilitator from Carlton Advanced Management Institute, USA. 275 students attended this session. A tribute to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose on his 125th birth anniversary. On 24 January 2022, our college paid tribute to our nation's greatest freedom fighters of all time, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. A speech was given regarding his political leadership, his work with other nations, leading the Indian National Army, formation of the Azad Hind government, his youth leadership, and all his contributions to the freedom struggle were covered. The principal, Mr. Manjunatha, NHCE, and Dr. Bodhisattwan, NHCM, and all our staff members paid respect to our great leader.
Republic Day. Republic Day was celebrated in a spectacular and grandiose fashion at New Horizon College of Engineering. The celebrations included unfurling of the tricolour, speeches from dignitaries and students alike, and cultural events such as songs and dances. The tricolour was unfurled by Dr. Manjunatha, principal of New Horizon College of Engineering. On watching the tricolour being unfurled and singing the national anthem, an overwhelming sense of patriotism and pride in the nation took over the entire gathering. The principal of NHCE, Dr. Manjunatha, took to the dais to convey his thoughts about Republic Day and his message to the gathering. The principal talked about increasing the scope of national integrity and freedom to an international level, and his words were truly inspiring. The vote of thanks given by Dr. Bodhisattwan, principal of New Horizon College. Sweets and savouries were distributed to all the members before dispersal.
Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering organized an alumni interaction on the journey from the college to corporate. Transition happens in life with people of every age group. It can be a major or minor change. Most important transitions happen in life when one gets adulthood and have to leave his college and enter into corporate world. The transition is most significant as it decides one's career ahead.
Youth Day. New Horizon College of Engineering celebrated the 159th birthday anniversary of an eminent Indian spiritualist philosopher, monk and thinker Swami Vivekananda on 12 Jan 2022. Swami Vivekananda's birthday is commemorated as the National Youth Day or Rashtriya Yuva Divas. Tribute was paid by students and faculty. Different competitions like poster making, drawing and collage making were organized and sweets were distributed to students.
The UCreate Club from the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering presents Embed Ahead. Participants will face off against each other in a bid to come up with the most innovative and logical ideas to take embedded systems to the next level.
Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering organized an expert lecture on motors for industrial application for the 5th semester students in online mode.
Greetings and welcome to our monthly sports roundup for the first month of 2022. Undoubtedly, the biggest spectacle of the month was the first Grand Slam event of this new year, the Australian Open Tennis Tournament. The tournament, however, started off with a lot of drama and controversy and was being played in a different Australian courtroom, as a certain player would not budge to get himself vaccinated and wanted the rules relaxed for the world number one. Thankfully, the culmination of the event was celebrated for all the tennis reasons. The final event of the tournament, the men's singles final, was indeed a treat for every sport lover. The match was played between two fantastic players, Daniil Medvedev, the 2nd seed, versus the 20 times Grand Slam winner, Rafael Nadal, the 6th seed. The first two sets saw Medvedev race towards the finish line, but come the third set and we all got to see the fighter Nadal up his game and provide a masterclass to each and every one of us. The final scoreline for the almost 320-minute encounter stood at 2-6, 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, 7-5 in the favour of Nadal, who with this win went on to become the first male to have won 27 Grand Slams in his eminent career. In the ladies' singles, the scoreline was fairly simple, with the home crowd favourite Australian Ashley Barty, the top seed, defeating America's Dee Collins 6-3, 7-6 in 1 hour and 27 minutes in a tremendous comeback in the second set when she was down 1-5. With this win, Barty became the first Australian to win an Australian Open in 44 years. In the women's doubles, the Czech team of Barbora Krejcikova and Katerina Siniakova defeated the team of Brazilian Biharan Maya and Anna Danilina, Russian-born Kazakhstani, in 3 sets 6-7, 6-4, 6-4. In the men's doubles, it was an all-Australian affair, where the team comprising of Nick Kyrgios and Thanasi Kokkinakis defeated the pair of Matthew Ebden and Max Purcell in straight sets 7-5, 6-4. Finally, in the mixed doubles, the Australian team of Jamie Furless and Jason Kubler were defeated in straight sets 6-3, 6-4 by the 5th seed Kristina Mladenovic of France and Ivan Dodig, the Croatian. In other news, and as the old jungle saying goes, a news is not sports news without cricket not being mentioned in it. So without further ado, let's jump right into them. The senior Indian cricket team started its year on the totally wrong foot when they lost both the test matches and the 3 one-day internationals that it played against South Africa in January. The scores and the statistics were not necessarily noteworthy for us Indians, and so I will totally skip the same. The 5-test 2021-22 Ashes series between England and Australia was played at 5 venues across Australia from 8th December 2021 and was scheduled to finish on 18th January 2022. Australia, the defending holders of the Ashes going into the series, successfully retained the trophy by winning the first 3 test matches. England did manage to save some face when the 4th test ended in a draw. However, Australia returned to their winning ways in the 5th to win the series 4-0. Staying with cricket in Australia, the 11th season of the professional men's T20 domestic cricket competition in Australia, also known as the Big Bash League, got over on the 28th January with the Perth Scorchers winning the title. The most remarkable encounter in the tournament, however, was the match played between the Melbourne Stars and the Hobart Hurricanes. The Stars were sent to bat first and their captain Maxwell smashed 154 runs of 64 balls, and their middle order batsman Stoinis gave him company, smashing 75 runs of 31 balls. These fiery knocks ended up with the Stars smashing 273 in 20 overs, losing just 2 wickets. This match witnessed the highest first innings score ever in T20 domestic leagues. Now all we need is for Maxwell to continue this form for Bangalore and we're all good. The Hurricanes eventually lost the game by 106 runs and Maxwell was handed the Man of the Match award. The 2022 ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup, the Gen Next International Limited Overs Cricket Tournament, is currently being held in the West Indies in January and February 2022 with 16 teams participating. It is the 14th edition of the Under-19 Cricket World Cup and the first one to be held in the West Indies. As we were going into bringing you this edition, the tournament is entering the business end, with the 4 semi-finalists just about being decided in January, and yes, Team India is one of them. In other sporting news closer home, the 2022 Indian Open Badminton Tournament took place at the KD Jadhav Indoor Hall in New Delhi from 11th to 16th January 2022. It had a total prize pool of $400,000 US. Lakshya Sen of India won the men's singles crown. Busananon Bamrangphan of Thailand won the women's singles title. The Indian pair of Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy won the men's doubles title. Sporting enthusiasts also got to witness the ongoing Pro Kabaddi League and the Indian Super League football tournament in January, and the tournaments will continue into February as well. That is where I will wrap this edition of the New Horizons Sports Roundup. I am Shantanu Kadiali and I wish you all health and happiness in abundance. Stay safe, and yes, if you are eligible, do get yourself vaccinated.
Hello everyone, my name is Rochan.
And I'm Akshay, and welcome to the space section of this month's NHT.
So, we'll be starting off with the James Webb Space Telescope, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, which is the successor to the famous Hubble telescope, which was launched on December 25th on a mission to study the earliest stars and to get back further into the universe's past. The James Webb Space Telescope is currently at its observing spot, the L2, which is about 1.6 million kilometers away from the Earth. That's a lot. It's the largest and the most powerful space telescope which has ever been launched. Scientists have picked the first star that they will observe. The star is called the HD 84406, which is located in the constellation Ursa Major the Big Bear. Web scientists will use the star to focus each of the 18 mirror segments of the web's primary mirror. This star is a sunlight star which is about 260 light years away from Earth. The images will be taken by the web's near-infrared camera, which first has to cool down to its operational temperature of minus 153 degrees Celsius. The first proper images are expected to be revealed to the public by late June or early July. Now, moving on to SpaceX to fly its next batch of Starlink satellites, setting up what could be a coast-to-coast launch doubleheader for the private spaceflight company. While SpaceX has not confirmed the new launch date for the Starlink 4 to 7 missions, the company was initially targeting a liftoff to occur 24 hours after its most recent launch, the Italian Earth observation satellite Cosmos Skymed second generation FM2. That mission lifted off on Monday night after 4 days of delay due to weather. Both the SpaceX Falcon 9 launches are expected to attempt to recover their rockets' first stages with a drone ship or land-based landings. SpaceX successfully recovered the Falcon 9 first stage from Monday's launch after its flawless touchdown at the company's landing Zone 1 pad. Next up, space agency ISRO's new chief discusses Gaganyaan program with the Union Minister. A dedicated ad hoc astronaut training center has been established in Bengaluru for the Gaganyaan specific training. Following the first unmanned mission, the second unmanned mission, Vyomitra, will carry a robot and it will be followed by a human mission. Next up, we'll talk about NASA's Mars orbiter, which finds water float on the red planet longer than thought. Caltech scientists studying data from NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter found signs of liquid water on the red planet as recently as 2 billion to 2.5 billion years ago, meaning water flowed there about a billion years longer than the previous estimates. The findings, published in the journal AGU Advances Center on the chloride salt deposits left behind as icy meltwater flowing across the landscape evaporated. While the shape of a certain valley networks hinted that the water might have flowed on Mars recently, the salt deposits provide the first mineral evidence confirming the presence of liquid water.
Last but not least, NASA's Artemis program, which is set to return humans back to the moon, has been pushed back again. NASA announced Wednesday that the agency's Space Launch System, or SLS, mega rocket and Orion capsule won't roll out to Launchpad 39B at NASA's Kennedy Space Center until sometime in March.
Welcome to the Commerce and Economics section. I'm Sharanya. Chairman of Adani Group, Gautam Adani, has dethroned Reliance Industries Limited chairman Mukesh Ambani to become the richest man in India and Asia for the first time ever. Adani's wealth has swelled up recently, especially after the onset of the pandemic. For instance, his total wealth stood at around $4.9 billion on March 18, 2020. As of now, his net wealth has touched nearly $90 billion, a rise of more than 1,800%. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget 2022 in the Parliament in a paperless format. She said that India's growth is estimated to be at 9.2%, the highest among all large economies. President Ramnath Kovind on Monday highlighted the achievements of the Modi government's mega COVID-19 vaccination drive and noted that 150 crore doses were administered to the country's citizens in a record time. In his address to the joint sitting of both houses of parliament at the start of the budget session, Ramnath Kovind said that Rs 64,000 crore PM Ayushman of Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission will prepare the country for a health crisis in the future. The national carrier Air India, which began its journey under the Tatas 90 years ago before the government nationalized the sector in 1953, was sold to the Autos to Steel Tata conglomerate, which will pay 18,000 crore for a 100% stake. The sale was announced on October 8, 2021 by the Union government. Mahindra & Mahindra shares that the auto industry is showing early signs of easing from the supply chain constraints, and the worst phase of the pandemic can help in increasing demand. In an interview with Bloomberg TV, Anish Shah, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Mahindra Group, said that the auto industry's progress has taken a backseat due to a number of factors over 2 to 3 years, is poised for a very strong rebound.
India's unemployment is estimated to have exceeded the global rate in 5 of the last 6 years. Data from Mumbai-based the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy (CMIE), an international labour organisation, show that due to an economic slowdown that was aggravated by the pandemic. Having peaked at 23.5% in April 2020, India's joblessness rate has dropped to 7.9% in the last month. According to CMIE, what's worse for India, its economic growth is producing fewer jobs than it used to. And as disheartened job seekers instead take menial roles or look to move overseas, the country's already low workforce participation, those aged 15 and above in work or looking for it, is falling.
New Horizon Vidya Mandir has started admissions for the students of grade nursery, LKG and UKG from the 24th of September 2021. New Horizon Public School has started admissions for the students of grade nursery. You will find more details regarding the same on the school website www.nhps.in.
Thank you for joining us this time. Hope to see you next time as well.